After Raw went off the air last night, Sami Zayn sang a new song for Kevin Owens, and he made this song for him because KO has been very angry recently, and he hoped that this song would make him feel a little bit happier. Let's roll the clip.
I am not a jealous person, but when I see 18,000 people in Atlanta all singing this song, now I gotta be honest, it kind of makes me wish, like we had a song that they could all sing with us. So look, I'm not gonna lie, I've actually been working on this all week. So this one, we're good? You literally have a song that they sing every single time you come out. You guys know it? That's not even the one I was thinking of. You have two songs to sing for you. What are you complaining about? Well, that's the thing, actually. The song I was working on was for you. Yeah, because you've had some anger issues lately, and I thought a song that we could all sing to might cheer you up a little bit. So hear me out. This is how it goes, all right? Kevin, don't be so angry. Kevin, don't be so angry. I love it.
I'm not gonna lie, that song is kind of fire, and I think it will stick if they bring this onto TV. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens really have some of the best comedic timing. Seth Rollins dancing with Sami Zayn is a coded moment. This segment is why we love wrestling. In other news, Fightful provided an update on Bray Wyatt's storyline that's been canceled and postponed because of his illness. The report said that Eric Young was set to be involved in a new style version of the Wyatt family with both Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. The credit plans were set in January and would have started after WrestleMania. However, Bray was sidelined due to an illness. It seems like the Wyatt 6 was going to come to life after WrestleMania time, and that storyline was rumored to happen ever since he made his comeback in 2022. I thought it would have been a great idea, and even though Eric Young did leave, the WWE can still go forward with that storyline with some other talents. I think there's so much money on the table for that faction if it's written properly. The WWE should not give up on it. It is sad to see that Bray Wyatt's plans have been put on hold, and it seems like this is a very serious illness if it's kept him out of action for this amount of time. I'm actually worried, and I hope he recovers soon. And now let's talk about last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, which I thought was actually really fire. It kicked off with Cody Rhodes, which was a smart thing to do. This was his hometown in Atlanta, Georgia. The crowd was more than happy to see Cody Rhodes. His family, including his mother, was even in attendance at the front row. The American Nightmare cut a promo talking about how he desperately wanted one more match with Brock Lesnar and how he wouldn't leave until he got it. Brock Lesnar played some mind games and then beat the living hell out of him in front of his own family. Lesnar then put him in the Kimura lock and told him that he accepted his challenge and whatnot. The segment was good, but I think it could have been better. I would have liked to see Brock Lesnar get in Cody's mom's face, and out of anger, she slapped him in the face for brutalizing her son, and then that would have pissed off the Beast even more, to the point where he took things to another level. And then I would have had Cody Rhodes even blade himself to make it look like the ending of SummerSlam in 2016 in that match against Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. And the segment ends with Michelle Rhodes crying, taking care of her son because she's responsible for the extra violence. This accomplishes two things. It would have showed that Cody's family is not afraid to stand up and fight for him, and also shows that sometimes that could be a dangerous thing. This wouldn't matter Cody Rhodes though, because now he's got to slay the Beast for his mother. I thought that would have been good, but they didn't go that route. I thought what they did was fine, but that's how I would have done it. Next up was Gunther versus Matt Riddle, and this was honestly a great match. Both men were hitting each other with some stiff strikes. This is the kind of wrestling I love. Gunther won and also cut a classic promo after the match. I don't know why, but I just love it when people cut promos after they win matches. It feels vintage. You hear them being tired. It really shows you what they went through. I really like it. And honestly, Gunther puts on bangers with pretty much every single opponent that he's in that ring with, which is impressive. He's definitely a top 5 wrestler in the world right now. The Judgment Day then came out to cut a promo, and I've got to say that Dom has nuclear heat. This man is the best heel in WWE right now. The man can't even cut a promo and has been able to do so in the last few months because the crowd literally won't let him. The man is a bona fide superstar. He's going to be a world champion within the next few years. Honestly, he should have won Money in the Bank, but it is what it is. The Mysterio bloodline is meant for wrestling. It took him some time, but he's finally got it. Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest were also good in the segment. Then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens showed up to set up a main event match with them, and the stakes were even heightened because Priest managed to get them to put those tag belts on the line. This was a perfect segment. After that, Raquel and Liv Morgan defended their tag team championships despite suffering injuries from Rhea Ripley beating them down. Rhea really beat these two women up 2-on-1. I knew they were dropping the belts the second Raquel was selling that knee injury. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville won the belts, becoming the new tag team champions. There's been 3 new women tag team champions in the last 3 weeks. It is time to possibly retire those belts. Hopefully, if they want to keep them, they keep the belts on this team for a while. The next match was one of my favorites from last night. It was the Viking Rules match. Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders absolutely killed it. The crowd went nuts for this. Titus O'Neil was talking about Jesus and how the Raiders were stinky, and Chad Gable was lifting big sweaty men, and Otis was snaking it up. This was a blast. I loved every second of it. The crowd was hot for Alpha Academy, but they still lost at the end of the day. I just want to see those guys get their win back in the future. I think there's a lot of money to make with Gable and Otis as a tag team. They were a match made in heaven. We then got a backstage segment between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and things got really personal here. It felt real, and this sucked me into the feud. This segment alone did more for this feud than the last 2 months have between these two, and it got me more than ready for their SummerSlam rematch. After this, Raw's fire slowed down a bit because, we got a Shayna Baszler squash match followed by a Ronda Rousey promo. It's wild that Ronda Rousey became the heel of this feud after being the one that was betrayed, but that's how much the WWE Universe does not like this woman. The promo was one of her better ones, but that's not saying much. The WWE really needed to give her a mouthpiece, and they just sadly never did. This is probably her last match, and I'm assuming she's going to give Shayna the rub. Then we had Miz TV with Becky Lynch. I actually really liked Becky here. She wasn't playing any games with The Miz. She wanted Trish to hurry up and get out there, and I actually thought that Trish was pretty bad in this segment. You can see a clear difference in the promo skills between Becky and Trish, and it just wasn't that good of a segment. It kind of felt cringy. Bronson Reed then wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura, only for Tommaso Ciampa to come out and attack Reed for costing him his match from last week, and this in turn gave Bronson Reed the win via disqualification. Shinsuke got pissed off and kicked Tommaso. I don't know, at this point I was tired. I was about to go to sleep before the main event, but I'm glad I didn't because the main event was such a great tag team match with so many close calls. I thought we were actually going to get new tag team champions for a second. Thankfully we didn't. I say thankfully because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have so much more to do. Their spots were timed so perfectly that it felt like poetry in motion. I might be gassing it, but this could be a WWE Match of the Year contender. That is how much I enjoyed this. Aside from the Ronda Rousey and Miz TV segment, this was a great episode of Raw. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.